Camera's not even there.
So
I'm here with Claudio today, and he's going to do an interview with us about Brazil and how the management and the overall economy is down there. If you could introduce yourself.
hello, my name is Claudio Aquino. I'm from São Paulo, Brazil, and I moved to Santa Cruz about 20 years ago. I'm involved with the global. I'm involved with the BRZ Products Company, which is specialized in wholesale and distribution of American products in the whole South America.
In current times, what are some of the things that Brazil is doing to improve its presence in a global economy?
Well, since Brazil became one of the biggest global economy countries in the world right now, Brazil has a lot of problems with the way the system works, from bribery to piracy of making products without legal rights or the right licensing. So Brazil has been obligated to basically clean up all the corruption and all the wrong way to make products, so we can be fully recognized and gain the trust of the whole world.
In order to start a business in Brazil, what are some of the legal processes or social processes that you'd have to go through?
Well, basically Brazil, since the system it's not so efficient as the US and most of the other countries in the world, unfortunately Brazil has one of the most difficult ways for you to open and run your business. Means you have so much taxes and imposts and procedures and bureaucracy where you have to go through so many steps and go through so many people that makes you very, very hard to go make things happen the right way. So that means it's hard because it then generates a very ugly way to get things going. Basically, incentive is a bribery. Incentive is you do the wrong thing so you can get your things going, your things get ahead of the process. Because if you just depend on the system, it will be very difficult for you to get anything going.
To add a little more to that, what's like a common time frame for business licensing? Is it a long process?
Well, it's basically if you're ready with your money, things will work faster, just like anywhere in the world. But if you have to depend and you don't have much money, you don't have much resources and a good lawyer, and things can take forever. Just depend on people interest on the system in order to give your license. If the government or certain entities or really they have their personal interest in what business you're doing, I'm sure they're gonna facilitate a lot more than if they don't really care or that doesn't make any difference for the local or for the national economy. They're gonna make as hard as they possible can in order for them to get their part of the whole business.
Thank you. How important is the local community in doing? Okay, never mind. In Brazil, how much influence is the local community on starting or running a business?
Well, I believe that just not in Brazil, but in most of the world, it's very important for you to have your local people, your local community being a part of your business, because first of all, they're gonna feel a part of your business. You're gonna create jobs. You're gonna give them opportunity. Not just they might have a lot of the local knowledge and resources that your company doesn't. If you have someone local work for you, they might know the other people, the other local business, the other people that you depend to run your business. So that will facilitate the whole environment and the whole local community, bringing everybody being part of it and everybody, be happy for having a work, local resources.
Yeah. In addition to that, do you have any examples, personal examples, maybe that you've seen any companies in Brazil? Or
Yeah, I seen that, like people, like my dad has been a lawyer for a big multinational company in Brazil, and he has hired to specific projects where he has so much local knowledge, the people and influence, that his contacts and his personal friends were so key to the whole project because basically they run that local community. And once you have the main people on your side, it helps to bring the small fishes to to make it in a whole make the whole community be part of it, not just a few of the people. So it's very important on that.
thank you. Can you give us a comparison from America to Brazil and how interactions between employees compare, for an example, in their personal life, at work, resources they have to get to work?
I believe that for most of the companies around the world, in the multicultural environment where you have many people from different classes, social classes, or from many people from multicultural places, that most of the interaction are going to be the same. You want to be communicative, you want to be friends, you want to be respectful to your employees, and you want them to respect you. So here, I believe in Brazil, there's a lot of the same level, but I think the slightly difference is most of the places most of the companies in the third world country, they will not have the people work in the same office, but so many different social class, and that's where's the difference, because since the classes, the social class on third world are so extreme to one another, you really have to be aware how that personal life that your employee has, his personal resources are enable for him to become a good employee and be very productive and feel leveled out in the same level as many of his co-workers. So it's very important for you to be aware of where they live, how is they have a car. It turns a little more personal, because if you don't, it's going to be very hard to put everybody in the same level, in the same group, and that might create a difference, or might create complexes between people, jealousy and all that, the bad things, because it happens of their social class. So I think it's in Brazil is a little more personal than professional because of that.
Thank you. When you moved to Santa Cruz 20 years ago, what were some of the easier things or the harder obstacles of establishing your business or social life here?
Well, basically, even though Santa Cruz it's a very open, easygoing town, I believe the most difficult and biggest obstacles was getting people trust. It was get people to not to judge me by my looking, by my skin color, but where I was from, and being able to get the same equal treatment and to get the same opportunities as someone who was born and raised here in Santa Cruz. And one of the easiest things that helped me a lot was, since the English is the second language mandatory in all the schools in Brazil, I had opportunity to learn English since the age of 6. So not that I was fully speaking, reading, but I was very familiar and a small knowledge. So with that moving to here, you start to learn how the proper English was speak and written. So that made me speed up on the process, and I was able to communicate in a better level, equally level to the American people. So that right there, I gained a lot of respect, and with respect, you gain trust. So because people were able to rely on me to speak the same language and be the same understanding and the same mutual respect to each other, because if you're in America, you better speak English. So that way, people, they won't feel like you're moving to their area and not respecting on their local culture. So I thought that was a very, important for me and for anyone who moved to any other place. If you want to get, lots of respect and a lot of understanding, people to get more friendly, you better speak their same language and be on the same level, basically. So,
In a business sense, were there any extreme obstacles or experiences that you might want to share with us about?
like in the business way, it's always, until it's more based on the professional level than in the personal. So of course, the rivalry and the people always prefer to give the opportunity to your local American, to your local person, to your local community. Nobody wants to give that chance of opportunity of growth to a foreigner, unless became very popular here in America is the hardcore jobs or the intensive labor jobs became very easy for the foreigners to get, because the way that the American society was set and the way the American culture was known is like they don't want to do that kind of job. So since the Americans don't want to give a try to that job, the next opportunity it is for a foreigner, because a lot of the people, they being here just to make money. They don't care what they have to do. They're not part of the system. They don't have the support of the family. They don't have the support of the local government. So they will do anything that takes in order to survive. So that was, became a big difference, and it gave a lot of opportunity to a lot of foreigners. And another thing too is like more than now, it's like it's a global economy. A lot of countries are relying on the foreigners' experience, cultural study environment. So it's became more open, and the opportunity for a foreigner in different countries are a lot of more open and a lot more easy to get, I believe now, because more and more each country depend on each other in order to grow. So it became more an abroad thing and a more common environment now than 20 years ago, I believe.
Thank you.
Luato Aquino.
We'll get you in the project too.
How you say? Hi everybody. Huh? Is that Ulus?
Earlier you said you were in sales and distribution. Do you think you could give us an example of how that might work between the U.S. and Brazil?
Yes. Basically, what we do here is I work with many different companies where, because of the whole global economy and the ways has been changed, a lot of the overstock of the American companies are sitting on their warehouses and they're basically not going anywhere. So most of my goals over here are to give them, these companies, an option to sell and distribute their products in South America. Give them a new revenue where they can have a new door open where a lot of people have access to their products. And since it's involved a lot of tax imposts, we're being able to work in a really good price where the companies over here, they will have no deficit on their economical part. I've been able to help them and get rid of their system. Basically, I have a transportation company over here in the U.S. who comes and pick it up, all my products, other certain companies, and they take all the way to the airport in Brazil. And in Brazil, I have a broker who can have the right licensing to operate inside the Brazilian customs in order to release all my products. And after that, they will deliver my product straight to wherever I want to go.